Alright, so today we are going to write each equation in standard form. So let me review with you what standard form actually is. It's in this form of ax plus by equals c. That's what it looks like for a linear standard form. So b and c there can be positive or negative whole numbers. While a must be a positive whole number. All right, so let's come down here and let's look at number 11 there. So first of all, let's bring the x and the y on the same side. So I'm going to bring this minus 7y over on the left side. So I'm going to rewrite the left-hand side as 2x plus 7y. And the right-hand side there is b, just 4. So now that's all the farther we have to go with that one, simply because we can identify our a and our b and our c. And b and c there are positive negative whole numbers, and a there is a positive whole number. So we can identify it. So a there is 2, b there is 7, and c there is 4. All right, let's look at our number 12 over there. So 12 over there, let's move the y term over by the x term there. So I'm going to add 2/3 y, add 2/3 y. So we end up getting there 3/4 x plus 2/3 y equals -2. So it says, the requirement there says that a, b, and c all have to be whole numbers. 3/4 and 2/3 there are not whole numbers. So if you look down there at the denominator down there, and we have a denominator down here of 4 and we have a denominator down there of 3, our common denominator is going to be 12. And if you don't know what it is, you can always just multiply the numbers there in the denominator together. So 4 times 3 there is 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a 12 there. And we're going to multiply 12 by every single term. But the ones with the fractions here, you might want to put them over 1. So I can either multiply in the numerators, 12 times 3 is 36 over 4x, plus 12 times 2 there is 24 over 3y, equals -2 times 12 there is -24. And then 36, the first term there can be reduced down. 36 divided by 4 there is 9. And then 24 divided by 3 there is 8y equals a -24. So now b and c there are positive negative whole numbers, and a there is 9, which is a positive whole number. So now we have to identify our pieces there, so let's do that part. So our a there is 9, b there is 8, and c is -24. All right, so looking there at number 13 there, the y is on the left-hand side, but the 9 is not on the right-hand side, so let's move the 9 over. So now we have 5y equals 9. Most people don't like it like that because it's supposed to be ax plus by equals c. So if you don't like that, just do a 0x out there in front. So 0x plus 5y equals 9. It also just makes it easier to identify the pieces. So a is 0. What's in front of y there is your b, which is 5. And then your constant is just 9. So there we have it in standard form. And there's our parts identified. Right. Number 4 there. I would go ahead and move, and I'm going to move the 6y to the right-hand side, and then I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing. So I get 14 equals 8/5 x plus 6y. Now I'm just going to reverse it, so I'm going to say 8/5 x plus 6y equals 14. Now remember, a, b, and c there have to be whole numbers, and a, that's in front of the x, is not a whole number. That 8/5 is not a whole number. So what do we have to do when we don't have a whole number? Well, we're going to have to multiply by whatever the denominator there is, because that's the only one with a fraction. So we're going to multiply every single term in here by the denominator, which is 5. So then I could just multiply my numerators. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 6 there is 30. 14 times 5 there is 70. So then 40 divided by 5 in that first term there is 8x. 30y equals 70. So now let's identify our pieces. A is 8, B is 30, C is 70. All right, so then our next piece here is find the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the graph of each equation, and then graph. So if you remember our y equals mx plus b, it's easiest just to go ahead and identify the y-intercept. And so then m there is our slope, and b is our y-intercept. So our y-intercept there is -6, or some people will say it's 0, -6. However you want to do that. But this is your y-axis. So they're saying it intersects this at 0, -6, so at -6. So if I want, I can just go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and plot my y-intercept there at -6. All right, and then my slope there is my m value, and that's what's in front of the x. What's in front of the x is 3. And remember, slope is rise over run, so that's 3 over 1. So from this point of 0, -6 here, I'm going to rise 3 and run 1. Rise 3 and run 1. Rise 3 and run 1. And it's +1, so it's 1 to the right. It's a +3, so it's 3 up. If it was a -3, it'd be 3 down. So there we have our graph of our equation there. We've identified our y-intercept, and they also asked us to find our x-intercept. Our x-intercept is where it intersects the x-axis. We can actually see it there right now. It's this one right here. It's where it intersects this x-axis. This is the x-axis, and it intersects it right there at 2. The easiest way, however, to do that is to go ahead and let x or y equals 0 and solve for x. Because you can't always see it on the graph. If you can see it on the graph, you can go ahead and just name it. But that doesn't always happen. In this case, it did happen, so it made it nice. So let's just do it also this way. So I can substitute 0 in for y. So it goes 0 equals 3x minus 6. Because the original problem there says y equals 3x minus 6. So then I can bring the 6 over, divide by 3, and we get x equals 2. So then our x-intercept is just 2, 0, just like we said. All right, so our next one, it says find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So when it's in y equals mx plus b form, your b over there is always your y-intercept over there. So we can identify our y-intercept right away. It's always 0 kind of b, and our b there is 0. So our y-intercept there is simply 0, 0. That's our y-intercept. So let's find our x-intercept. To find our x-intercept, what we want to do is we want to let y equals 0 and solve for x. So let's do that. So we're going to say 0 equals -2x, divide by -2, and so x there ends up being 0. So our x-intercept then is 0, 0, because x is 0, y is 0, ordered pair is 0, 0. So our x-intercept and our y-intercept this time end up being exactly the same. So you might have to go ahead and use your slope there to figure out your next point. So our slope there, remember, it's y equals mx plus b, and our equation is y equals a negative 2x. So our m, or our slope there, is rise over run, and it's negative 2 over 1. So from 0, 0, I can come down 2 and run 1 to the right. Come down 2, run 1 to the right. And then connect my points. This one here, when it's in standard form like this, it's ax plus by equals c, it's easier just to go ahead and figure out your x and your y intercepts by going ahead and, so you can say, let x equals 0, solve for y. So if I do that, 0 plus y equals 5, and I get y equals 5. So then my ordered pair there is 0, 5, and that's my y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can go the other way. We can let y equals 0 and solve for x. So this time we're trying to find the x-intercept. So now it's going to be x plus 0 equals 5. I put the 0 up there in for y, so I get x plus 0 equals 5. So x plus 0 there is just x, so x equals 5. So what's my x-intercept? It is going to be 5, because x is 5 and y is 0. That is my x-intercept. So on the x-axis, I can count over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can simply connect those 2 points. Mine's kind of squiggly, hopefully yours is a lot straighter. There we go. Alright, so again, because I'm going to find my x and my y-intercept there, I'm going to let x equals 0 and solve for y. So I'm going to put 0 in for x. So 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 5y is 5y. Divide by 5, and y there is 2. So since x was 0 and y is 2, that will give me my y-intercept. And I'm going to plot that. There is my y-intercept. Now let's find our x-intercept. So now we want to let y equal 0 and solve for x. So we're going to do 2x plus 5 times 0 equals 10. 5 times 0 is 0. 2x plus 0 is 2x. Divide by 2, and x is 5. So since y is 0 and x is 5, our ordered pair there is 5, 0. So that's our x-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 5, 0. I can connect our ordered pairs there. And there we have. Make sure you're connecting those. The equation y equals 5,280x gives a distance in feet corresponding to a distance x in miles. What is the distance in feet from Farmington High School to the Dakota County Library in Farmington if the distance in miles is 3.52? So it's 3.52 miles. So x is in miles. So what do we do with the 3.52? We're going to plug it in there for x. So we're supposed to find the number of feet. So we're supposed to go y equals 5,280 times 3.52, and it'll tell me how many feet that is. So you can put that right into your calculator, and we get 18,585.6 feet. You order a hamburger which costs you $12 in a restaurant and read books there the whole afternoon. You drink several cups of coffee at $4.50 each, and the cost C in dollars can be represented by the linear function C of x equals 12 plus 4.5x, where x is the number of cups of coffee drank. What is the total amount spent at the restaurant after drinking 4 cups of coffee? So x is the number of cups of coffee, and they gave us 4 cups of coffee. So what are we going to do with the 4? We're going to plug it into the equation there for x. So C of 4 equals 12 plus 4.5 times 4. So we get 12 plus 18. And we always label our answer, so notice I'm putting a dollar sign because it's total amount spent, so that's $30. Let's go ahead and do the next one. It says, what is the total amount spent at the restaurant after drinking 6 cups of coffee? So since x is the number of cups of coffee, we're going to plug 6 into our equation. So our equation is right there. So C of 6 equals 12 plus 4.5 times 6, which gives us 12 plus 27, which gives us $39. So it cost them $39.